All right, we are live and in living color as usual on this
Well,
Wednesday morning. I had to think for a second what day it is.
unless
That's the
Donald
thing
Trump's
about the new
Donald Trump could
administration. You're
Donald
never
Trump
going to know
could.
what day it is.
It's
You're so
Wednesday. It's a wacky
confused.
Wednesday. It's the day that Donald Trump will shut down the internet.
Yeah, we'll see what. Yeah, what little surprise does he have in store for us today? Hey, you don't know he's Michael Knight. He's down in Pasadena, California. I'm Vinnie here in Seattle, Washington. Actually, Edmonds. Because the crime is rising in Seattle. I don't want to.
You
I
don't you
want
don't you
to
don't want to be
identify
associated.
myself with a place where the crime is going down.
You
It's
don't want to be
lowering
associated
itself.
with a bad neighborhood.
Exactly, exactly. And one TV station last. Why are the youth so criminally rich? These young kids committing crimes. I don't know the answer, but
Young kids have always committed crimes. I refer you to Frankie Lyman, who had a song, Why Must I Be a Juvenile Delinquent, or something along those lines.
yeah. I mean, to a certain degree, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, it's always been kids for whatever reason are want to test the system. I guess why they try you as an adult generally, unless you do a particularly grave crime, until you're 18 years old.
You can practice until you're 18, and then it's for real.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you go out and you mug somebody, or you assault somebody, serious assault, that's a different thing. But for the most of these crimes, property crimes, and so on, you catch a break if you're from 16 to 18. And before you're 16, you catch a even better break because they won't try using it. You commit, as I said, a particularly grave crime.
Did you ever know anybody growing up in New York who went to juvie?
Yeah, yeah,
How did they
yeah.
find it?
Plenty of people. Spofford was the place where people went, where you were sent to, was the juvenile jail. It was not a nice place.
No, it's not a. They don't keep it up like they used to. It used to be a fabulous place with good service and great rooms and fabulous outcomes on paper. It always looked great on paper.
Spofford was it was up in the Bronx, and every 6 or 8 months or so, there'd be an expose about it. How Spofford was a horrible place.
Is it still there, or did they turn it into a tech center?
I don't know. I don't know if it's still there or not. That'd be interesting to find. I'll have to take a look. And I guess the equivalent was what was the place up on the hill in San Francisco?
It was just called the Hill, wasn't it?
No, there was it was up there on the youth detention, which is right up where Street met Eudipio Sarah going down, and it was on the kids' courts, the juvenile court and the detention center up there. It used to be a hospital a long time ago, and there was a name for it. And I can't remember.
They're no longer interested in saving lives, saving souls. They moved on to
Yeah, I don't.
juvenile detention.
There was, yeah. I mean, it was from what I understand. Like I was never there. I never, was there as far
A guest.
as a guest. I was there a couple of times to pick somebody up that I knew that wound up as a guest there a couple of times.
Hurry up, get in the car. We're going to hit the bank at 11. I told you we'd be on time.
Yeah, yeah. No, as they know, I'm never on time. Uh, but it was an equally horrible place. But Wofford, well, I take it back. It wasn't equally as horrible a place. It was actually a place that was Spofford was nothing else. It was just
The beginning of your crime
of
career was the end of the road.
beatings at night
Oh, yeah.
and the older gang, and then after a while you had the introduction of the gang as well, So in one side you had the Bloods, the other side you had the Crips, you had this, you had that. That you almost wanted to Creedmoor, which was the place where they sent the mentally the thought were insane or had a problem or had something going on. They weren't normal. They were sent out to Creedmoor.
That's where you go for
And
your teenage nervous breakdown.
yeah, and that was actually where you tried to get to after a while. If you weren't in a gang or you didn't want to go to Spofford, because Spofford was such a house of horrors that yeah, you didn't wind up going to you didn't want to go to Spofford. You'd rather go to the mental ward than go to Spofford.
You better class of people. You run into a nicer crew.
Well, yeah, that and you would also get what you call it,
Medication.
your own room, your cell. You didn't have to bunk with people. It wasn't they separated people and you were kept in an individual cell, individual room, and it was a hospital setting. So you didn't have the kind of jail type setting that you had up in Spofford. And it wasn't uncommon to hear of kids getting stabbed up in Spofford once or twice a week,
Oh, of
at
course.
least.
Of course.
By the way, the White House has rescinded an order that froze millions of dollars in grants and loans. This is coming from the New York Times. Um,
That broke this morning.
yeah, I just let's see. White House rescinded the order. Um, and again, so uh, the couple of MAGA people that jumped on my Facebook yesterday and told me that I didn't know what I was talking about. Um, which again we see that the cult people will jump on any kind of social media that you point out that President Slapdick has done something wrong. They'll jump on it right away,
They double
and
down with a lie.
they'll give you not only the reasons why, but I'll just they'll always stick their praise of Trump on it as well. Now, if you're a follower of a philosophy, or you're not in a you generally state case, and then you say, that's what I believe to be true, and I never have a problem with that. But unless you're lying, which most of these people are,
Of
then
course.
or they didn't see it on Fox News
Same thing.
because it's all they watch. But then you get the ones that will jump on and say, well, you're going to have to live with this for 4 years and get used to it, and try to not just rub it in, but make it, try to, they think they're hurting you. They think that they're, putting stuff on there that, oh my God, you told me I'm going to have to live watching Donald Trump for 4 years. Well, first of all, you think I'm bending because of that? Oh my God, you're right. I should come over to your side.
What
I'll
makes
jump
what makes
on the bandwagon with you, you
what makes
fucking
him
idiot.
what makes him think that he's going to make it 4 years?
Well, again,
At this at this at this rate, he's going to have trouble making it a year. It'll be.
I don't know if he
I
is or
predict.
he isn't. I'm not.
I predict the Nuremberg trials will begin before 2028.
Well, I don't think I don't think that's happening. I'm not going to go there. I don't
They'll
think.
all be held
But if that happens, Michael, what do you
in,
get?
in abeyance. Well, here's what you get when they don't have to pay for what they do.
You
They
get.
can
Well,
shut
yeah.
shut down the federal government as an experiment. Just turn it off.
Well, that's all it was. I'm glad you said that. Because what it was yesterday was a little exercise to show us what he can do.
What he will do.
You know, what he can do. He can turn the spigot off if he wants. And he can disrupt things for at least a day. And he can make people think and make people react to it. And
Next
so
case will
so
be
for all
Medicare and
we're talking
Medicaid.
about is Donald Trump.
The next case will be your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Social Security, just for a day, just to see how you like it.
Well, that's what it was yesterday. That's exactly what it was. It was Medicare, Medicaid program, Social Security, regular Medicaid. It was a whole bunch of to where the point was that governors had to come out and react to it.
But the Republican governors didn't.
No, they're not gonna because
They
they're
didn't
all
say a word.
members of the.
And if you watch the Robert F. Kennedy hearings today for his appointments to the cabinet, the Republican senators, and keep in mind these are the senators, not the House of Representatives, where you find a interesting collection of ne'er do wells. But these are the senators, the U.S. Senate, and this is the how far the Senate has fallen to have to admit that these are the representatives in the most deliberative body on the planet, the Senate of the United States. These are the senators representing their states, representing the future of the country. And they are members of the cult that can't think for themselves, that think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is some sort of messiah, health messiah, when he can't answer the questions. He can barely speak the language, and it's the most frustrating and bizarre presentation, sideshow, carnival that I've ever seen. And to think that the senators, Republicans especially, are part of this acquiescence, is part of this agreement, part of this handshake, part of the fear that keeps them in line, keeps them in check, keeps them from thinking on their own, keeps them from voting anyway but except what Donald Trump wants. And mentioning him in every other sentence. Well, President Donald Trump said, President Donald Trump is committed. President Donald Trump has always been fill in the blank. It's, that's the that's the pattern of speech that they're all committed to. The praise of Trump and the avoidance of reality.
Well, the good thing is mainly going to be that the way Trump, everybody will be affected by it. There is nobody that will catch a break here. When he finishes, putting his fear into the Democrats, he'll turn around and he'll start to the Republicans that he doesn't like. So
Dance,
nobody's going to escape from it.
dance, or meet your maker.
When they pull Social Security, when start to dick with Social Security, they're not going to just pick out Democrats and Republicans that they dick with Social Security. Social Security is going to be dick with for everybody. When they stop SNAP payments, it's going to be Republican Democrats. It's going to be the people in their district. They're not just going to pick out districts and go, well, this one went for Trump, so we'll leave the funding there. I mean, they couldn't take the time to pick out which January 6th people should have stayed in jail and shouldn't have stayed in jail.
Let them all out.
Let them all out. And already one of them got in trouble. I don't know if he got. I don't know exactly. Got him in trouble. Something got him in trouble.
A traffic. He refused police directions at a traffic stop and was shot. He'd been out one day.
Yeah, one day. So, I mean,
He went down a proud boy though.
good, good. Um, See, that's what's going on. You've released these people now into the general populace. I mean, if I'm a cop, how do I feel about this?
You're not allowed to say. Your blanket support of Trump will be fine. Thank you.
And then you have these idiots that have the nerve, these people that have the nerve to post and defend Trump. There is no
Indefensible.
defense for this guy.
None whatsoever.
There is no defense for what happened yesterday.
Or what's going to
It,
happen tomorrow. I can't quite tell you what it's going to be, but it ain't going to be pretty.
it purely a move made to show his power. That's all. He knew he wasn't going to be able to get it. It was let's put a little fear into it. Hitler used to do it too. Only he would take people out and shoot them,
Like you do.
or he paint Jewish Jewish on their shop, or Juden on the plate glass in front of their shops, and think that society would take care.
The street rats who take care of the rest. Oh, Uden, this is where we don't shop.
That's what he would do.
It's
And
it's criminal. It's criminal because it's against the law and it breaks the tradition of the nation and it destroys the fabric of society. But it's also criminal because it hurts people and it's intended to hurt people and to scare people and to make them grateful that he turned it off, but he turned it back on. He was just fooling. He didn't mean it. He was joking when he turned it off. He turned it back on the very next day.
Yeah, that's their favorite thing that they like to say. He was joking.
He's a joker, funny guy.
Well, wasn't it joke yesterday? And wasn't it joke a lot of people yesterday?
Wasn't a joke to anybody. Even the
a
White
whole
House
lot of
didn't know
old
what had happened.
people. A whole lot of people who depend on the payment, or a whole lot of governments depend on the payment to keep their doors open, their senior centers, and their Head Start program.
And what's the upside of frightening someone like that and taking away what they need to exist? What's the upside? Why?
It's abuse. It's abuse, Michael. It's what's the upside of somebody's husband coming home and threatening? What's the upside to that? There's no upside to it, but you do it because you can get away with it.
Did it before, I'll do it again.
And then you send your brand new press secretary out there to lie for you.
Holy cow! What a piece of work she is. I'll watch her anytime she's on. That's a lesson in how not to be a human being. That's a lesson in propaganda. That's a perfect lesson in propaganda.
I wonder why you didn't get what's her name?
Stinky Feldman
in that position.
Guilfoyle?
No, the crazy blonde.
Oh.
No, they sent Guilfoyle as far away as they could get her.
They sent her to Greece.
To Greece. That's just about around the world.
But I'm in Albania. I can't get out. Well, that was our mistake. Hold on. We'll get to you.
We shut down the government machines. I mean, this is the guy who's proven before that he not worried about a government shutdown. He's public that he'd like to go ahead the government. He doesn't care.
She invited anybody who's got a website to come to Washington and get accreditation. You can sit right in the front row.
I think we should apply.
I don't want to go to Washington.
You should
it's
apply.
Too humid in the summer, too cold in the winter. All right. If you'll go, I'll go.
Well, Michael, actually, I don't think that's a bad idea. Because for too long, we've had people who stuck up to the White House because they were afraid of losing their credentials. There has been somebody in that scrum since Helen Thomas.
Now anybody schmo can get in there.
That's had the audacity to question what the president says.
Can we sit next to the Fox gal?
Sides.
Tell the Fox people we're disc jockeys too.
One clown is in there, dude, from Fox. But he just asked stupid questions.
How do you feel today? Upset stomach? Better? Not you, her.
Yeah, it's amazing. And people, another piece of advice: if you don't like what I put on social media, un if if you're in the cult of Trump, unfriend me.
There's a little X right there, right in the corner.
You can just it's very simple. Just unfriend me.
I do it by accident all the time. I unfriend people who
Yeah,
want to, and
I
and I
really
have to undo it.
if you don't want to hear my and you can't conduct yourself on my social media page without insulting people or trying to threaten people or trying to um you know show
Browbeat.
your mastery, then unfriend me
Let me go.
because that's the way you think. I don't care about you. If you're one of those people that say, well, through California, let them qualify for the let them do Tommy Tuberville. I don't think they should get anything.
They get nothing until they turn on the spigots in Northern California, the non-existent spigots.
Well, that's what they did. Yeah, I was there thing yesterday. After he caused the chaos. Well, no, I don't. You know what? I don't have the chronological order right. I think he actually tweeted that before, right?
Yes, and a long visit long ago.
That he sent the military in to California. I mean, what kind of is that?
We'll mellow them out. They can have Mike Love, and we'll take the rest of it.
I just I got enough stress in my life without this stuff, and I try to not look at it.
But it's
I
everything.
try not to look at it, not to post about it, not to just like just to talk about the sports scores, and that's it. But this affected me and my family personally yesterday.
And so it was meant to, as you know, Vinny. I'm sorry for the pressure. Sorry
It
for the kvetching.
yeah, it affected people no, personally. There's a I don't want to say where she is, but there's a lady block that has cancer. Saw her yesterday, and she was practically in tears.
Because of the uncertainty and the
I'm
nonsense of
not
it
going to be
all.
able to go to the hospital. I'll get my ride to the hospital. I'm not going to be able to. This is a widow that lives alone in a house that her husband passed away, and she's in the house.
He'll take that too.
Yeah, as soon as Chuck Woolery gets her with the or not Chuck Woolery. I'm sorry, he's doing gold.
The
Or was
ghost of Chuck, the ghost of Chuck Willery.
uh,
It's a
Tom
vengeful
Selleck
ghost. Yeah, Tom
was,
Selleck. Yeah.
was dealing out reverse mortgages.
It's the best thing I've ever done. Really? Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Well, I watched your show until you started doing that stuff, pal.
The Blue Bloods.
Yeah, and then once you started doing that stuff, I kind of lost my interest in Blue Bloods. It was a pretty good show,
The idea of
but
uniting this country that's a good example of why it will not be united. It will be divided right down the Republican and Democratic divide. It will be just about 50-50. And the reason is you can't trust them, you can't live with them, you can't justify what they do, you can't expect them to come to their senses, you can't expect them to govern. They only want to rule, not govern, rule. And we can't have it. We're not going to live with it. They're going to the next stop will be free press. Wait and see. They're going to start pulling coverage from the networks. They're going to start singling out different correspondents and hosts. It'll come to that. It's already on the
oh,
list of things to do.
it's been already. You don't think that that CNN is got their tail stuck up,
By the way,
between their legs.
what a time to say we're firing 200 correspondents. That's just what Trump wanted to hear. 200, make it 300. What are you waiting for?
And they keep that Democratic piece of crap, Scott Jennings, who the way who can't figure out he can't find a floor low enough.
He carries water for the emperor.
When you can get up there and defend what
Everything,
Elon Musk did
anything and everything, he will
on
defend.
election night, when you can get up there, stand up there and defend the Nazi salute.
He's a kidder. He was kidding, like he does. Funniest thing he's done in days, and he did it twice.
Guys, not only do it twice, but he's talking to some Nazi German group. What was it, yesterday or the day before?
On X, he's giving them a nice spot, giving them his full support.
What just an absolute gap of insufferable people.
They're gonna run out of plugs to pull out of the wall. They've got a long list of them, and they may do some more than once. But they're going to run out of the shock value, and pretty soon it's going to be what are these idiots doing today? Let's watch them and stop them.
Well, Michael, the only way they can rule is by fear.
And I think we have to remember that they're wrong. So it's all right to be upset about this. It's all right to be confused and fearful of it, but we must stop them because what they're doing is wrong, and they have to be stopped.
The only way they can rule is by fear, Michael.
That's right.
They don't know how to run a government. They have no idea how to run the government.
And their solutions
They have no
are
idea how to
pathetic.
run anything except into the ground.
Talk about a pathetic set of solutions and suggestions. Kennedy today, during his questioning on rural hospital care, said they're going to have AI nurses. It's indistinguishable from a real nurse and better than a doctor. Well, let's solve that problem. All you have to do is talk to your computer. Now, when the computer tells you that you've got esophageal cancer or a brain tumor, you still don't get treatment. Where are you going to go for the treatment? The AI doctor cannot help you when it's time for surgery. You have to go to a real doctor with real talent and real skill and real training. And that's what they're going to replace with an AI nurse. She can't put on a Band-Aid.
I'm sure they'll invent robots. Maybe the things are going. The AI might be better. I mean,
Better than a doctor. They would surrender all his training to get in line with Trump and believe what he says about vaccines or disease or anything else that's wrong, any other malady on the planet.
Maybe it'd be better.
Like bird flu, which is growing, and they've made no response to it whatsoever.
No, they're not going to respond to it
except they cut the warnings. No more warnings about bird flu.
Yeah. We forget how they didn't want to touch COVID either.
Go to your homes. Everything's fine.
I mean, it was completely up to Trump. It was only because the hospitals got so overwhelmed with people coming in, puking up blood, that they had to respond to it.
AI nurse, she's really good, indecipherable from a real nurse or a doctor or a vet.
Well, it's I don't know, man. The Democrats better pull their act together and pull it together quick,
or they shall all hang separately.
Again, I didn't see one. I don't know. Maybe I missed it because I got to a point yesterday, right, TV off, but I didn't see any of those young Democrats up out there and saying, I mean, Schumer, and I saw, but where are these Democrats who are supposed to stand up and be the future of the party? I think I saw something from Max Frost just too.
There was not a
If there's
united
any
front.
justice in the world, be the president.
One thing that did happen yesterday with the Democrats is they had an all hands on deck meeting in Washington to organize the response. I don't know what it produced, but they did come up with marching orders and some theory on how to suit it. But fixing the problem was the real challenge. That was the challenge for the lawmakers. Trump did this. Now you fix it, because he's not going to.
Yeah, and
It's like
just
the
in
NFL
case nobody's
referees.
looking, in case you took your eye off the ball, the French are sending troops to Greenland.
Well, this is going to get good.
The French are getting in a position because there is a feeling in Europe that Trump might try to attack to take over Greenland.
But it belongs to Denmark. How come the French are defending it? Doesn't
They
Denmark
got some kind of deal going.
They got a deal.
So the French are ending, according to where did I see it? Was it the NBC? Was the NBC news? Was that NBC or CBS news last night? The French are going to go and defend Denmark against the United States. So this buffoon may start before it's all over.
The Finns are famous for their white uniforms in the snow. You were not going to see them. It's going to be too late when you're walking around wearing your Trump red hat.
Yeah, that's how them Germans got kind of screwed up.
I can't see them. They're in white uniforms.
Something moving out there or what? Hon? I just, and it's only a week, Michael. It's only a week.
The first week out of 4 years. That's why I don't think it can last 4 years. It's just too. You just run out of things to throw in the gears. You run out of wrenches to throw a spanner in the works. You run out of the tools you need to keep the machinery from working.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do.
And when you keep turning stuff off like that, sometimes it breaks and you can't turn it back on. That's going to happen. Probably with Hegseth in the Pentagon. We can't get through to our troops. Why? Well, we shut off the communication. Just wanted to see what it would do. All I did was push this button. Now she don't work no more.
Well, that's disgusting. Is this clown has the clear codes, man.
They'll claim that they weren't hooked up to anything. I tried the codes. I played with the codes one night. Nothing happened. I just wanted to see. I sent one to Iceland to get rid of the French army.
Oh, man.
And nothing happened.
In other great news.
Well, I have a bulletin for you. The Costco $1.50 hot dog has changed. It's still $1.50, but it's no longer Pepsi, it's Coke.
Yeah, they're going over to Coke, huh? Which I don't mind. I mean, I actually, you know what the best tasting cola is, and nobody ever says it?
Tell me.
But I'm going to drink a Royal Crown Cola.
Boy, it's been a long time.
Find yourself a Royal Crown Cola and get those nice and ice cold out of the refrigerator.
Are you shooting for endorsement?
Become my favorite cola. I mean, I don't drink too many of them because they don't have a diet. Well, they have Diet Right. I've seen it in years. But a sugared cola, that That dollar is better than Coke or Pepsi.
Are you a Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pimm's man?
I like Dr. Pepper. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. My let's see. So what are my sodas? So I mean, I like Royal Crown for a cola. I love genuine black cherry soda.
The real deal.
The real deal. Yeah, you take some black cherry and put some vanilla ice cream in there, and you got to
You got a
float, man.
you got a professional float.
You got to float. I love good root beer. Uh, A&W's not bad. I always think that Dad's root beer is the best. You
IBC.
don't see it too much out here, but you see him back east. When I was back, I used to drink that Dad's root beer by the case. It's good,
Keep that
good root
vanilla ice
beer.
cream. Keep that vanilla ice cream around.
Oh yeah, I mean you can make if you get a diet Dad's root beer and a bottle and a container of frozen vanilla yogurt, you can have yourself a party for no calories.
The neighbors will wonder what's going on. What the hell's
Well,
going on over there?
the neighbors know what's going on at my house. Um, yeah, what sodas do you like?
I'm a ginger ale freak. The gingery, the better.
Yeah, I
If
like
it,
ginger
if
ale.
it, if it makes your eyes water and your tongue sparkle and your nose run, that's ginger ale.
My sister and I made Shirley Temples for was it Thanksgiving or Christmas? Thanksgiving.
With real grenadine,
Real grenadine. We got the actual good grenadine, not the corn syrup stuff. The stuff that's made with real sugar.
the kind,
Um,
cane sugar.
yeah, cane sugar, and we found out at the local PCC had it. It's expensive. It's probably three times the cost of the rose,
But it goes a long way.
but yeah, it goes a long way, and it's still. You take a little of that grenadine, you put it on the ice cream,
Ooh,
a bit, not a lot, just a bit,
just a touch.
and it's a nice addition.
Even
Um,
the even the AI nurse likes it.
the AI nurse loves it. She knows not what she loves, but she knows she loves that.
Ain't life grand? Well,
Pretty,
you want to
pretty.
take any guesses? How long will it take for Trump to turn something off today, or is he past that now?
Well, he had a busy day yesterday. Now is he still out golfing?
uh, I hope so. He gets great ideas when he's out there on the course. It's that kind of game.
See, I think Thursday is his day. Well, Friday night is his real day. Friday night is the day that he goes. That seems to be when he does his dirt work. Like last week, he fired all those inspector generals on Friday night. Friday night's his night.
Time for a massacre.
Melania don't want to come near him.
The poor girl's ruined, but she wants piss on earth. There's no doubt about that.
She's she's got for Gavin.
She's broken.
He says there's and they sent Gavin's ex-wife off to Greece, so
That still makes no sense to me. I don't know how on how that girl stays in circulation.
boy, I tell you, she gets around, man. There's- They must be telling some story at the Commonwealth Club about her or whatever. What's the club that has the Bohemian Grove?
The Bohemian Club.
The Bohemian Club, right? The Bohemian Club. They must be telling some stories about her down there.
First thing you got to know is there are no Bohemians in the Bohemian Club.
No, there's not a
No,
Bohemian to be found.
not a Bohemian anywhere.
Closest thing maybe to a Bohemian in that place is Willie Brown.
A couple guys in the Bohemian band, but
Yeah,
even they are Not dependable bohemians, not professional.
Not professional bohemians. Nobody there lives in North Beach. Nobody has a
No.
Grant Avenue address.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yeah,
Not
that's
going to happen.
at best they may own a building or two on Grant Avenue and be collecting the.
Upper Grant.
Oh man.
It's that kind of day when Pete Carroll thinks he's going to have the time of his life with the Raiders. We're going to have fun. I'm going to teach them everything. If we're not having fun, we're doing it wrong. Well, Pete, you were in the wrong place saying the wrong thing. Good luck to you, boy.
Yeah, that the more I think about, the more I start to think that Pete Carroll should have stayed retired. Fired. Just I get the idea not going to turn out well for Pete. Now maybe it will. I mean, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm just thinking to myself that sometimes you go someplace and you think it's going to be good when you get there. Once you get there,
It ain't
you
what you
find
want.
out that it's not as good as you thought it was going to be.
The menu's not what you had in mind.
That maybe you wind up that it's not everything you thought it was. Maybe you wind up that you're working with a lazy partner. Maybe you wind up that that I don't know. A lot of different things can happen.
Gardner Minshew the third can be your quarterback, but not just as long as he doesn't start any games or finish any games or take part in any games or play in any games.
Yeah, but you go anyway because you need the money, not the money. You need the act. There's something there that you need.
And having fun is his one of his hallmarks, trademarks. He's known
Yeah,
for
but
that.
I just don't know about this. I thought it was a good idea initially. Now that I really thought about it a bit, and now that I had time to really kind of sit around, just I don't know, man.
Did you see Kenny
If
Stabler and John Madden saying, "We're here to have fun. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to have. If we're not having fun, we're doing it wrong. We're going to have fun. It's going to be
yeah,
fun."
if it was the Bears, maybe it'd be a different story. But
But you
there's
know,
something about the Raiders,
the
man.
Bears ain't the Bears can't have fun. No fan has ever had fun. Nobody that's a Bear supporter can remember the last time that team had fun or who was
Yeah,
involved.
and Pete Carroll might have gone there and done a nice job and got into the playoffs and everything. I, you know, the Raiders is just a different story. It's a Raiders nation. It's a Raiders. It's just the fans are a little whacked out,
They're a little touchy. They're
a little touchy, little whacked out. Um, and he's gonna have to go in there and win right away. Right away. He's not gonna have a year and put a team together.
well, they got a general manager and now they got a head coach. What they don't have is a winning team. Show me where that team is. They haven't made any changes. Same guys that lost all those games last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to get in the draft where they're drafting, but I don't think it's. I think it's pretty high, right? I think they got a pretty good draft position. Drafting somebody, but you need
Well,
more. As we well know, being watching the Seahawks, you need more than just the quarterback.
you certainly do.
You need some players. I don't know if now. What I think the interesting move, and I wonder what the interesting move is going to be, is Pete going to go get Russell Wilson.
Uh, um, well, the Steelers could keep him.
They could, but they could also let him go.
Oh yeah,
And he didn't do such a great job there yet last year that people in Pittsburgh are saying, "Oh my God, I can't let this guy go."
that's exactly what they're not saying.
Right? No, but nobody's saying that he is all end all and a guy who's going to get the Steelers back to the promised land. He's not a Ben Roethlisberger.
Remember the routine with I think I'm going to stay, but I think I have to go. I'm ready to go, but I'm ready to stay. I think I'm going to go, but now I'm going to stay. I'm out the door, but I'm coming back. I'm on my feet. No, I'm sitting down. That's what it's like. That's what it's like in the NFL when you don't have a team, but you have a new coach. What are you going to do? We're going to win, but I think we're going to lose. Well, we think we're going to win, but we still probably will lose.
Well, I think it's going to be, I mean, I wish Pete a lot of luck there. I think that, you know, I'm just not sure. I mean, I don't know. Did the Seahawks look that great the last 4 years he was here?
Game to game, it was a toss up.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say the game had passed him by, that he wasn't playing his strengths, that this and that. I mean, it was. I mean, people love Pete here, but they loved him because he got the team to 2 Super Bowls.
That's when they loved him. That's how they loved him.
But they didn't love him because he was, this great, this guy who had them winning every year.
Motivator.
He was a good show on the sidelines, and he had him in position to win. Years, he didn't, and a lot of people here had said that the game had passed him by. That people did was the coach he used to be. Now I don't know that I believe that. I think a lot of it was. I mean, he just for some reason couldn't get on the same page with Russell Wilson.
And he was not. He didn't bring in the talented players year after year to keep him competitive.
Yeah,
either trading or drafting.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad coach, but he wasn't a great coach. He was in the upper echelon of the game, but he wasn't one of the top coaches the last few years.
And the Seahawks didn't play that desperate game of improving by spending money every year.
So now they're trying to figure out the Seahawks what to do. Are they gonna with Geno Smith because Geno is looking for a new contract. So do you invest in a guy who most football experts say is a good quarterback, but not a great back? He can put up numbers.
Plenty of proof of that.
But as far as getting you to the promised land, will he get them there? His ass seems to tighten in tough games.
The prospects for bringing in another quarterback are there for them to explore, but who would they do?
Well, that's just it. Who do you look at? Is there somebody? Are they going to be able to move up and draft somebody? I don't know. And even if you draft somebody, is he going to be ready to go?
You know how much fun it is to be a rookie quarterback. You meet everybody on the defense and you know them by name.
Yeah, that's an interesting. It's an interesting situation with the Seahawks. Interesting situation, but again, I've got to think in a lot of ways that John Schneider, who's the general manager, has some kind of beating.
Well, ask yourself: do you have a running game? Do you have a star tight end? Do you have a left tackle that you can count on? All the pieces of the pie.
The tight ends didn't. You didn't see him. There were times when the tight ends were good, but overall, the whole performance. left something to be desired. Um, I think the offensive line certainly needed to be bolstered up.
Everybody's usually does.
Certainly needs um, some some talent, some more talent, and it's got a few couple of guys on it, but for the most part, so it will be it'll be interesting to see what direction they go.
So a young quarterback and a nifty offensive line that does not bode well.
Yeah, you got to have and listen, I'm not a big Geno's fan. I think he's a decent quarterback, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to get you to the promised land. He's not going to get you deep in the playoffs, even if he gets you there.
He can't keep you there.
He's probably not going to keep you there. He probably doesn't have the stuff to take you 2 games in. You'd certainly probably need to have him at home. You need feel advantage for Geno. It's just the way he seems to operate. So I don't know. I think that I think they got to figure out and what is the coach's plan. I mean, this is a guy seemed to favor the running game. I think, and maybe he had to because it seemed that every time Geno threw a deep ball, I mean, he threw some beautiful deep balls.
But the
But
running game was
boy,
beautiful.
he also threw
For
a few
Philadelphia.
beautiful deep balls to players in different colored jerseys.
Yeah, well, my quarterback Purdy did the same.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you have a guy that passes, that's when you got a guy that centers himself on pass. That's what you get. You better have some very educated, very smart, and very quick wide receivers.
The RPO doesn't work so well unless you have a running game. It's just a fact.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I wish Pete all the luck in the world. I just don't get the feeling that it's going to be it's a great day
In Raiderland.
for the Raiders. Now watch
And
with our
with our ability to pick
with
them.
our the Raiders will go to the Super Bowl next year.
Oh yeah, and they'll have fun.
It's just when you're betting, make sure you jump in. Listen to Mikey and Vinnie for their
Yeah.
expert advice.
It's just like listening to Joe Theismann. Whatever he said, bet the other way.
Whatever he says, go deep the other way. You'll be okay.
In Raider Nation, the guys that work in the end zone, the black hole, they'll all have smiley faces on there.
Oh my God, this is just gonna be this is gonna be something to watch, man.
It's gonna be fun, Ben.
This is gonna be something to watch.
How come the 49ers aren't there to have fun?
Well, what's gonna happen with the 40? I mean,
Well, Ayuk's got to be healthy. Debo Samuel's got to be healthy. McCaffrey's got to be healthy. The quarterback's
yeah,
got to be healthy.
they got
Uh,
racked with injuries.
We got
Fair.
murdered.
More share, really.
It was ugly.
So who's in this? I just wish Buffalo would have been there. I think it would have been a much more interesting. I mean, Kansas City is interesting. Yeah. Philadelphia, I saw the crowd celebrating in Philadelphia the other night. The guy that pulled out the gun and started firing.
Only one person died.
Yeah, they consider that to be a success.
On an average night in Philadelphia, more than one person dies, right?
Yeah. That's a success. I mean, listen, you got to give them a lot of credit. The fans are diehards.
And they know that
Uh,
song.
they got that song, which is kind of cool. I mean, that'll be interesting to hear the Superdome rocking out with that.
Fly, Eagle, Fly.
But I don't know. Going Mahomes, man. That's
But if you're looking
that's
for
a
if
complete
you're looking
team.
for if you're looking for a Philly cheesesteak in New Orleans, it's just going to be red beans and rice. Sorry.
Closest you're gonna get is some Zeppela.
Go for the
You get them
jambalaya.
bananas, kind of like Zeppela.
Go for the jambalaya and be happy you got some.
Exactly. Get yourself some crayfish, some crawfish, jawfish, and any other kind of fish you can get down there. But there's no cheap eats in New Orleans. But maybe
It's a music town.
in these days of food trucks, I would have to think that either Gino's or Pat's would get a food truck and head down to New Orleans with it.
Well, I wonder if you can park in those narrow streets. Probably not.
Well, I'm sure there's some place down there you can probably rent a space in a lot or something
Well,
get around.
just drive very slowly through the neighborhoods. People can order and
And
keep up with you.
throw the out. You throw me 10, I'll throw you a cheesesteak. Whiz or without whiz is
Whiz, please.
whiz.
Oh,
Sorry, you don't get any. You see,
the president turned it off.
that'd be kind of fun though. To, to go down there and D steaks. Only Philadelphia go to New Orleans and then want food from Wayne from.
I can't eat red beans and rice. I gotta have my cheesesteak.
Yeah, I don't. What do I want to eat this crap for? I want a
No, not
cheesesteak.
that one. The other one. I need the other one, not this one.
It's cheesesteak and tasty cakes. Oh man,
He
oh, what else do we got happening? Oh, the Fed has left the interest rates unchanged. So Donald
he
Trump's
told them
economic recovery have to wait another quarter.
he told them what to do. They didn't listen. He'll turn them off.
You'll go by the Fed tomorrow, and the doors will be locked. Won't be able to get any cash.
It'll be a Starbucks.
At least I mean, that's the ATM for the banks. When the banks need cash, that's where they go. And believe me, some people learn that at Trump University.
But not many.
And not a lot.
I went to Wharton. You drove by Wharton. You didn't go there.
Oh my God, the huckster in chief. Well,
So if we go to Washington, what are you driving?
if we drive to
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 D.C. We do our show from the front row.
our spot in the press room. Well, I'd have to see. Uh, I, I would probably have to try to get a van out of somebody
So we could operate in the van.
and sleep on the way there.
Oh yeah.
Have a
We'll drive
couple
in
of
shifts.
beds, sleep on the way. Have our portable studio sponsored by Ford.
Hotspot brought to you by.
The heck is something going on outside? Sounds like they're
You-
digging something.
You're looking for the AI nurse.
Yeah, we have our AI nurse.
That's what the NFL needs, an AI coach.
I'm not good. You say something, and then I thought the better of it.
We're gonna have to live like that, thinking the better of it's a good thing, Vinny. That shows maturity.
I was going to say something at Mikey. If it was 30 years ago, we were on KJO, would have been out in the nether
It
already.
would have been in their imagination forever. You know what that guy said? Do you know what he said?
Would have been out instead. Yeah.
Tom Lee is going. Finally,
Uh,
finally.
yeah. Where's oh man, where is the what the hell ever happened to the Sonic Cynic? Remember the Sonic Cynic?
There
Damn
were
guy
lots of
was
them.
right though.
There were a lot of them.
We used to have some interesting cats, man. The guy I always wonder about. There's one guy I always wonder about Mikey. There was the guy.
Donnie from Queens.
No, I know where he is. But there was a guy that used to show up at our remote zone with his kid,
Yeah.
and
He's
the
a
kid
little.
and guy always had alcohol on his breath.
I remember.
Yeah, and he was hard to forget.
He was about ready to go off.
Yeah, and I always wonder about that guy, man. I always wonder if he out and got help and his kid was all right. Out of all the people that we used to when we go out and do remotes, he's the guy I still think about and still worry about. Well, one of the guys. I mean, there's a few of them, but he's the guy I always think about. Always hope. I used to say a little prayer that guy would be okay, and his kid would be okay, and then he would get help. And even to today, it sticks with me. I still remember that guy's face and just poor kid, man. I mean, the kid didn't know,
He took our promos seriously when they said grab a friend and come and get some grub. There was no grub.
yeah, I yeah, I always wonder about that guy. That guy, I spent a lot of my prayers over him, praying that he would see the light or stop drinking or something would happen because he just had the feeling that one day you were on the news, man.
Yeah.
You, there wasn't much you could do about it.
I wonder if he was still pissed off about the World's Fair. Probably.
Yeah, he was upset. All right, pal. I will see you on um, Friday.
Freaky Friday. Unless Trump turns off Friday, he might do that.
Right, we might go right from Thursday to Saturday. No
Yeah.
Friday this week,
None.
just to see if we can do it.
Think of the savings. None of that Friday commute. Nobody gassing up on Friday. Nobody having dinner on Friday. Think of the savings.
What just a sad state of affairs, man. What a really sad state of affairs we've gotten to. Maybe somebody will save us. I don't know. Maybe we got to save ourselves.
I don't think we're going to make it to 2028 like this.
Well, no, something's going to have to happen between now and 2020. Actually, you kind of hope it's going to be a reaction in
Midterms.
2024. Excuse me, 2026.
Yeah. Midterms are going to be a crazy time.
Yeah, you kind of hope that
Because the Republicans can't say anything bad about Trump to run for re-election. They cannot. So they got to grow a pair between now and then.
yeah, well, good. And people are I think after 1 week it hasn't sunk in yet, but it'll sink in because he's gonna do something.
The price of eggs has gone up.
Yeah, he's gonna do something that's gonna be get us into trouble.
He's just going to push it until he can't push it anymore. He'll push the wrong button.
I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's not gonna. I just don't feel it about it, Michael.
It's going to be ugly, but checks and balances will stop him eventually.
I don't know, Michael. I don't know if checks and balances are going to stop him.
Well, he's daring us to stop him.
You know,
It's a double dog dare. I double
I
dog
just,
dare you.
yeah, I hope it will. I don't have a lot of faith right now. I just think that
You know
he's.
who might turn on him? The Supreme Court. I know it seems hard to believe, but they might.
Well, yeah, you kind of hope that there's a few people there that take their justicing seriously enough.
Well, they're watching this shit show. What can they do but help correct it?
Yeah, yeah. You have to pray that they take their justice in.
And the creek's not going to rise because he's turning off the creeks on Thursday.
Well, he turned on the water fountain in the area. I mean, I'm not even in California now for him. And I didn't, I had to laugh because then his press secretary says, he asked about is there military in California as he, landed troops in California. She says, well, the Army Corps of Engineers is there. Well, am I wrong? Or didn't Biden send the Army Corps of Engineers into California?
Well, we got secret spigots. I'm not going to tell you where they are. They wouldn't be secret if I told you. And they're turned off. We're not going to turn them on until the secret is out.
We're not turning them on. We're not letting you know where they are. It's like the gold. We're not going to tell anybody.
Not a soul. See you at
The
Sutter's Mill.
1849 all over again. All right, Mikey. I'll see you Friday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
I told you, creeks are turned off tomorrow, Thursday. See ya.
All right. Well, in that case, drink peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby.
Got plenty of Manischewitz. What a wine.
See you, Mikey. Thank you all for listening to it. Thank you for indulging my little tantrum earlier in the show. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves.